Welcome back, YouTube, to Randomly Trashed with your host, Commander Trasher. Now, today I wanted to talk about people that have children and they don't take care of them the proper way. Now, I know a lot of people out there have kids, and if you're going to have kids, then I think that you should take care of them the proper way. You know, you should raise them the way they should be raised. You should treat them the way they should be treated. Yes, I understand that there is such a thing called discipline out there, and you need to discipline your kids the proper way. Now, I feel disciplining your kids the proper way is not beating them. I don't think you should beat them, but I mean, if they're acting out of turn, then, you know, obviously you should do the right thing and, you know, scold them and make sure that they understand that they're doing the right thing. The wrong thing. If they're doing the wrong thing, you should scold them. You know, make sure that they understand that they're doing the wrong thing. And, you know, once they understand that, you know, you don't have to beat them for them to understand. You know, sometimes a kid won't learn like that. Sometimes the kid will continue to do it because maybe, you know, yeah, you may be hitting them for the moment. They may be in pain, but then they'd be like, you know what? I don't care. I'm going to do it again. Sometimes kids do that a lot. And I mean, it goes for kids, teenagers, you know, it just keeps going. And then sometimes if you beat them enough, then they think it's right to do it to their kids. And then it just keeps going, and it keeps going on for generations. Nowadays, you can't even beat your kids because of the fact of ACS and because of all these different things that don't allow you to do that. And you get your kids taken away and all that kind of stuff. But there's some people I've seen out there that have kids, or they're gonna have kids, and they're not ready. And, you know, they have the kid, and then they don't treat it the right way. I know I seen someone one time, you know, practically never take care of their kid. They always had like a babysitter taking care of their kid. And that's not right. I'm not going to say any names or shout out any people specifically, but, you know, it's still not right that, you know, you have people out there that have babysitters taking care of their kids all the time from, you know, 8 o'clock in the morning, you drop them off till like 12 o'clock at night, you know, and then you come pick them up. I know for a fact that if you do that every day, including Saturday and Sunday, there is no way that you're working 7 days a week, that many hours. There's no such thing. Now, maybe, yeah, you work maybe 5 days a week, maybe that much hours. If you really, if that's the case, you know, if you have a job that does that, then that's maybe understandable. But 7 days a week, Saturday and Sunday too, that doesn't make any sense. You know, the kid barely sees you. What's the point in having a kid if your kid is not even going to see you? So, if you're going to have kids, you know, be prepared for what you have to do to take care of them. Yes, you can have them have a nanny. You can have a babysitter take care of them and stuff like that. That's understandable. But that's most of the time for a couple hours. You know, you have them get picked up from school. You have them watch from 3 to maybe about 5 o'clock if you have a, you know, 9 to 5 job type of thing. You know, and you come pick them up around 6 or maybe even 7, depending on how long it takes you to get there. And then you take them home. That's understandable. But to drop the kid off at 8 o'clock in the morning, for them to go to school, come back to the same person's house at after school, and then stay there until 12 o'clock when you pick them up, and then they come back there again 8 o'clock in the morning the next day, that's not right. And you're doing it on top of that every day, not only just days you work. Sometimes I've seen parents drop off their kids at babysitters' houses, and then on top of that, you know, they're not working that day, and they'll drop them off, and then they'll, you know, go partying. You see them going out with a fancy suit, or, you know, they're dressed real nice, you know. What are you doing? You ain't going to work. You know you ain't going to work. Where you going? Why you going out to party for? You have a kid to take care of. Go home and take care of your kid. And then on top of that, I know people that, you know, they babysit kids and, you know, nannies and all that kind of stuff, and babysitters in general, and they don't get paid that much anyway. They don't get paid a lot. I mean, you know, it's not really a job. If you're babysitting from your house, it's not really a complete career, you know, but still, it's still like you're still taking care of another person's kids. So you should be getting paid not a crazy amount, but at least a decent amount. You know, I mean, come on, don't you care about the kid? Well, obviously not if you keep the kid there for practically 16 hours in a day. I'm probably exaggerating the amount, but I mean, still, it's still a lot of hours that you're keeping that kid there. And that kid is going to grow up to thinking that, you know, especially if you leave them there as a child and you keep doing that for years, they're going to grow up to thinking that that person who's taking care of them is more family to them than their own parents. They're going to think their parents don't care about them. And I mean, maybe you don't if you're dropping off your kids there like that. Honestly, I feel like you shouldn't have kids if you're not going to take care of your kids. And I mean, if you're going to, even if you do take care of your kids at home and you're taking care of your kids yourself, doesn't mean that you need to lash out on your kids, you know, when you're having a bad day. It's not their fault. It's not their fault that you're having a bad day. It's not their fault that, you know, your boss decided to, you know, treat you like shit that day, or say something to you, or, you know, a customer or a patient or somebody made you have a bad day, and you think that it's a good idea to lash out on your kids. It's not a good idea to do that. Because, again, like I said, you do those type of things, your kids will grow up to hate you. And it's like I said, what's the point in having kids in the first place if you're going to act like that? Don't do that if you're going to have kids. If you want kids, you know, take care of your kids. Be responsible. Let them grow up to loving you. Yeah, sometimes you could give a kid everything. You could spoil a kid. But sometimes they'll still grow up to being rowdy, bad, and, you know, spoiled. And they just turn into a brat. But I mean, if you learn how to do it, the spoiling, the right amount to, you know, actually, like, the spoiling and the discipline, the right amount, you'll have, you know, a kid that you've always wanted. Your kid has to listen to you. You're the parent. Your kid listens to what you say. And I mean, if they don't, that means that you're not letting them. That means that, you know, you're not disciplining them the proper way. They're just listening to whoever they feel like listening to, or they just don't listen to anybody at all. I hope you guys understand what I was saying, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like at the bottom, comment whatever you think. If you think that people shouldn't have kids, you know, if they're not going to take care of them. And don't forget to subscribe. Let other people know about me and my videos. I would like to have more viewers. Thank you, and catch you next time on Randomly Trashed.